Welcome back. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi arrived at Orly Airport in Paris on Sunday in an official visit where he is due to have summit talks with his French counterpart Emmanuel Macron. The visit aims at boosting strategic relations that bind Egypt and France and enhance bilateral cooperation in all fields. Presidential spokesperson Ambassador Bassem Radi said the visit will include talks over bilateral ties and coordination of regional and international issues of mutual concern. He said the visit will also include talks with French ministers, head of the Senate and the National Assembly over developments in the Eastern Mediterranean and the Middle East. Trade and investment ties will also top the agenda of the talks.
President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi arrived at Orly Airport in Paris in an official visit where he is due to have summit talks with his French counterpart Emmanuel Macron. The visit aims at boosting strategic relations that bind Egypt and France and enhance bilateral cooperation in all fields. Here are some more details of the Egyptian-French relations in various domains.
Mutual relations between France and Egypt are based on strong, long-standing ties of friendship and confidence, and have developed considerably in all areas over the last few years. High-level bilateral meetings have increased considerably, with visits at the level of heads of state on an almost yearly basis. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi to Paris from the 25th to the 27th of November 2014. The President of the French Republic as the guest of honor at the inauguration on the 6th of August 2015 of the new Suez Canal. President al-Sisi's official visit to Paris from the 23rd to 25th of October 2017. And an official visit to Egypt by the French President on the 28th and 29th of January 2019. The two countries hold close political dialogue on regional issues such as the Middle East peace process, Libya, and African issues. Egypt is also a key partner in the fight against terrorism. On the economic front, France is a leading economic partner for Egypt. According to French customs in 2017, France and Egypt posted an increase of 21.8% in their trade, which totaled $2.5 billion after experiencing their largest decrease in 10 years in 2016, a 27.5% year-on-year rate decrease to $2 billion in trade. According to the Central Bank of Egypt, France ranked 11 among Egypt's trade partners for the 2016-2017 fiscal year for 2.9% of Egypt's overall trade. France's economic presence in Egypt, made up of 160 subsidiaries of French companies employing more than 30,000 people, has also grown recently. French companies have strong positions in key sectors of the Egyptian economy, such as industry, agri-food, electrical equipment, pharmaceuticals, retail, hydrocarbon exploitation, tourism, and infrastructure. In the military field, several major export contracts have been concluded. Sale of 4 corvettes in May 2014, 24 Rafale fighter aircraft, a multi-mission and weapon systems in February 2015, and in October 2015, Egypt also purchased the 2 Mistral-class horse projection and command. In the field of research, the French presence is ensured in particular by the French Research Institute for Development and the Center for Social, Judicial and Economic Documentation and Study, focusing on the disciplines of humanities and social sciences and carrying out research into 3 themes: governance, development, urban studies, mobility, and digital humanities. France's leading position in the field of archaeology in Egypt is ensured by the French Institute of Oriental Archaeology, the French Egyptian Center for the Study of the Temples of Karnak, the Centre d'Études Alexandrines, and several archaeological missions, in addition to the 2 directly managed schools and accredited establishments. Bilingual schools are the cornerstone of the French-speaking community and educate students who go on to study French language courses in higher education and at the French University in Egypt, which aim to offer outstanding education. Finally, in the technical field, France implements a wide-ranging cooperation policy in Egypt in many sectors, in particular the administration and the judiciary. France thus participates each year in a cooperation scheme which allows Egyptian senior officials and judges to be trained at the National School of Public Administration and the National School for the Judiciary.
Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli attended the 13th extraordinary session of the African Union's Head of States and Governments on the African Continental Free Trade Area, which will be held via video conference. The Prime Minister participates in the session on behalf of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi.
Within the framework of a protocol signed between the Ministry of Health and U.S. Harvard University of Medicine, Health Minister Dr. Hela Zaid attended the graduation ceremony of the first class of the Medical Vocational Training Program under the protocol. Addressing the event, Zaid said that the ceremony crowns 2 years of tremendous efforts. She praised Harvard University for making this kind of education available in Egypt. The protocol covers training professional calibers to develop vocational training in Egypt. The class was graduated after taking training programs on medical clinical research. The ceremony was attended by senior Harvard administration staff and senior Egyptian military officials and health sector staff. Addressing the ceremony, Dr. Awad Taghiddin, President al-Sisi's advisor for health, said that Egypt is witnessing a medical revolution. Minister of Planning and Economic Development, Dr. Hela Said, also addressed the graduation ceremony. Minister of Higher Education, Dr. Khalid Abdel Ghaffar, attended the ceremony as well. At the end of the event, distinguished students were handed their certificates of excellence.
Meanwhile, the Egyptian expats vote in the runoff of the second phase of the parliamentary elections. Earlier, expats printed the ballot papers for the runoff round of the second phase ahead of sending them by mail to the Egyptian embassies and consulate abroad. 42 individual seats were secured during the first round, while 142 seats reserved for the candidates running under the party list system were decided during the first round. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs called on Egyptians abroad who have previously registered to log onto the official website of the National Election Authority on the 3rd and 4th of December to print their ballot papers.
Egypt's coronavirus cases cured rose to 103,324 after 133 patients left quarantine hospitals. Reviewing the daily tally on the virus casualties in Egypt, the Health Ministry reported 431 new infections and 18 new deaths. The figure brings the total number